G'day, punters. Welcome to the deep dive. We're not going to talk about Dutch rudders, which you can Urban Dictionary that one, but Peter's been talking about Dutch ruddering before the show started, which, not sweet, but that's our man, Pistol Pete. Anyway, Curly has done it again. Looks like Curls, we've found another pretty fast one. Certainly one that's going to pay itself off for us pretty quickly. And when you sort of get a little push from you, and it's an owner's bet, and it's $15 and bigger the fare, it was almost fucking Christmas yesterday.
Great start of the show, Jack. We should probably relive that in a little replay or something. But I actually chucked it in the chat in the on the app, on the Mailbag app. Couldn't believe the price of this thing off its 2 trials. Like, the horse is going good. Obviously, we're brought into it, and it was just it's missed the start. It got pushed. It sort of started over racing a little bit, then got pushed 4 deep on the corner, and she's hit the front and only just knocked up the last 50 to get run over late. I actually sort of had a decent bet on it. Like, if it wins, I'm helicoptering in and out of the bull from Crown Casino each day and night. It was so sick. I thought we were going to win for a stride, but anyway, she's right. Like, imagine how far it wins at Casino last Monday when they were called. Like, it wins by a furlong.
What price would we have got at Casino though?
It went up $4.50.
Oh God.
So it would have started. So we would have got like $3, $3.50. 9 o'clock that morning. But anyway,
it ended up being a pretty expensive day for me yesterday because I chased out that thing at Ballarat too, and I launched it there at Selling Sunsets. Both I thought were going to win with 100 to go.
That was that stay-in race.
Yeah, the 3 of them just beat everything else by about 35 lengths.
Yeah.
Honest to God, there should be an inquiry into some of what happens at these Sunday meetings. Like, it looked like they were about to finish the race before the corner, and some of those riders have lost by like 45 lengths. You're not on Mackay David, mate. You're on a fucking very slow horse. It's not very fit.
It was a pretty strong effort to win. A bit stiff to run into a couple like that and beat the rest by that margin. But
yes.
Anyway, I spoke to Casey, who trained Selling Sunset after the race, and everyone's pretty happy. And just a matter of finding the right race next start and winning for us. That's the plan. Anyway.
Okay, very good. We had a couple of meetings. You guys completely, cleaned up. Curls yourself, especially in Queensland. Very nice performance.
I'm not sure whether anyone... for those that get my stuff, obviously they would have watched the race of October Joy, race 2 at the Gold Coast. For those watching at home, feel free to go back and have a look. We were gone at the 800. Led and gone. It was a 2,200 metre race. And
is this the one I called you about?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We've had a decent
go.
2 units at 650, and A. Pattis is just stuck to the inside, stuck to the fence, and just kept bashing it, and just got it completely.
No, that's not the whole story. This is the only race I watched in Queensland all day. Now, she's jumped okay. But whoever it was inside her just sort of half fucked her and said, nah, you're going to have to go a little bit faster if you want the lead. So she went, okay, and went real fast. And then all of a sudden she was 3 or 5 in front. And then she tried to slow. It was unbelievable. I don't know what it would trade and run. She was headed well before the corner. But the horse that headed her started rolling out. And then you thought, like, when they go to the side on here, we're a chance of being sort of a chance. Like, we might be level heading here. And then it was just like they were going up and down in one spot. She was unbalanced and struggling to whip it, but it was still too good. It was an outstanding bet. It had everything in it to kick you off on a Saturday. Well done, Curls. On a big start to the Saturday and a big day overall. Well done.
Yeah, it was a great start. Jeez, it's just easier to play the day when you're back for winner early, isn't it? Like, you just relax. You just see it better, I reckon. But anyway, we got on the right side of a few results, which we've been stiff a couple of times, and a couple of the better sized bets lobbed in town as well at Doomben, which we'll go into a little bit more detail later. But it's a nice day.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at Caulfield, it's another winning performance for Jack Dickens, although I'll bring it up when we get to that race. Anyway, you had a good sort of collect on Lil Contra to complement Superium, who, despite the stable change, is still running up backsides in most of the straight. I think that horse is
Well, that's going to happen, Jai, when you follow like an aggregate of like 150 to 1 horses in run. Like, probably do what the winner did and get outside of him.
Yeah.
I mean, Brett's had 6 months off and he still figured it out. The best of Jai is quite good. I thought his ride on the Ciurleo was outstanding. But the worst of Jai is fucking horrific. And I think as the older he gets, the smaller that gap will be. But that was a hard watch. Like, we won pretty well on Saturday, and we win huge if Superior wins. And how the fuck Grand Promenade hasn't won, which was another bet.
Yep.
Which we're going to talk about later on.
Let's start with race 4, because you wanted to talk about Cordelia.
Yeah, she's run to a new career PB. Off the back of like failing at Moonee Valley. That was that day, Pete, that we were there. It was heavy and wet. So I think you can sort of forgive and avoid her on heavy ground. I reckon she's pretty talented. There was a win a few back at Flemington, which was like a horse was with above average ability. Having said all that, though, I think she was suited by the way the track raced on Saturday. They did gap third, but I've done a bit of digging, and she's owned by Wooden Stud. So I suspect sort of very like astute placement, and they're just going to try and pinch some black type with her. I think she is group class, but only just.
How did the track play there on Saturday for someone who didn't see a race?
I think the rail was a slight disadvantage throughout the day. But like the last winner led basically rails in run, got off the fence in the straight. That was probably the ride of the day just in front of the Ciurleo. That was Craig Newitt on Inverloch. That was just outstanding riding. His section from the 8 to the 6 won the race. Even had a little peak back at the top of the straight. It was unbelievable.
Good, wasn't it? So I did see that race because I saw you put it out on the top.
Don't bring it up on the show, mate. I talked to you about it before.
It's one of my favourite horses in Inverloch. I was like, hard press, just keep smacking it.
I found it on top in the yard punters, but it's still, because I'm into my COVID pricing shit, it still wasn't quite a bet, although it was a mistake late in the day. I had it just about the market, so I should have had a small bet on it. That was a mistake. Anyway, great ride, knew it. I did get something out of it in run, but not much. What was I talking about before that thing?
Cordelia.
It goes good. I think this Rainbow is like, fuck, if you owned it, you'd be sick. Like, they have gapped third. It's run a career PB here, Rainbow. It hasn't won a race since it knocked us off at fucking Kyneton that day when it was at Hemorrhage. We ran second to it. I still remember it, and I've just started to sort of forgive it. Good horse, going well. It's not an A-grade ride at Dean Holland, but the ride was it was a perfect, fine ride on Saturday. Sometimes a horse doesn't get luck. This time it just ran into a better horse. Follow it, but you're not going to get a price.
Yeah, no, I think that's
obviously a lot better than anything else on the day. Thought Missile Mantra in the early race is well worth following too. That was a big win.
Was that first up?
Yeah, off good trials, but paraded really well. We should have been with it. I almost did. But it's kind of like you were talking about, Curls, at the start there. I didn't want to sort of spend a shitload of units in the one race early in the day. Like sort of bet 4.5 to win 7.5.
Yeah.
To sort of let it go, basically. Plus, ours get back run on, which even though I thought maybe that'd be okay on Saturday, it's not typical Caulfield. So, big win.
Well, one of the races you did throw out early was Mohican Heights, or one of the bets you threw out early, and they've gone pretty quick here, like on Punting Form's data, 8.4 lengths faster to 600, so they've hooned along, but geez, it would have been a good thing licked. It was like blocked, I think, 2 or 3 times in a straight, and just gasping to find that better ground out wide.
Yeah, and good on Jimmy T for giving it to M. Walker for half slaughtering it.
Jack, you're still serving your 6-week ban for bagging M. Walker, mate.
Well, when he settled a couple of pairs further back than he could have, I wasn't happy. I thought Skelm paraded really well, and I was convinced he would win top of the straight. Like, it's a tough line chasing shit, that thing. I sort of lost the tripod for a little bit there mid-race. Very scared of Yonkers, who was Stockdale, I thought, gave a really good ride, but sort of lost the momentum key stage. And I don't know who was on the other thing, but it was like a Ballarat ride yesterday, the staying race. He was off and gone on, what was it? McAvoy horse. He just fucking went for it. I don't know who it was. He went real early. Anyway, in the end, the car's got it right, I guess.
No, and full credit to Walker too for giving it to JT after the race back. When JT goes, "I didn't go to plan for you," and Walker goes, "Well, what was your plan?"
Yeah, but if you had have asked, JT just needed to have that second bit. Well, my plan would be for jump well not to show some intent, so I wasn't last the fence, requiring a lot of luck.
I don't know.
But he got it, and he's a very courageous and strong rider, Michael Walker, and he stuck it through those holes. And the horse went enormous. And the horse sort of, we spoke about it on the previous show, as one of the more progressive horses on the card, like with the least convictions. And it's now ticked another box where it's run off a big figure off a fast tempo. It was very good at Mornington off a really slow tempo. So the horse looks to be pretty versatile. Easily the horse out of that race to follow going forward. Skelm going really well. Paraded great.
Now, you did mention before Grand Promenade, how did it not win? Do you want to talk about how it did not win?
Well, I'm convinced the market's down in Victoria that no one knows anything at the moment, because Independent Roads run a PB by 2.5 lengths. It's fascinating. The betting in this race is fucking fascinating. So Independent Road last start, SP'd $3.20 versus Vegas Night $9. They sat 1-2 and run at Sandown, and Independent Road killed it. 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, whatever, we go to Caulfield. Independent Road utterly friendless. Vegas Night hemorrhages. They settle 1-2 and run again. Out to 2,000 metres is the only thing I can find as to why you might want to back Vegas Night like they did, but not that heavily. I don't understand what happened. If you have a theory on it, this is the most interesting stuff for me in the game. I'd love to talk about it. So if you have an idea, email me, comment on the show on Twitter, whatever. I'd love to talk about it and understand what might have happened here. Anyway, my point is the market had no idea because Independent Road run a PB. Like huge price in run in the straight because Grand Promenade was there to go past it. Wycliffe also very, very well backed and had the suck run behind Grand Promenade. Got home okay in the end, but Grand Promenade went good. Independent Road went enormous. It's a big figure what it's run here, 11.4 above the all average Punting Form benchmarks. A strong number from a horse that's hard to catch.
A very fast tempo for a 9-horse race as well, especially over 2,000 metres.
Yeah. But I think the way they maintained it through the middle section gave the horses better forward to midfield an advantage.
Yep, fair.
Sort of like what Froggy did to him in the next race, the last race.
Just going to ask, not that I want to talk about Inverloch once more because that is one of my favourite horses, but can you comment on Platoon?
Oh, what? What the fuck's... What? No, you can. What are they doing?
Well, I must say I didn't even realise.
What sort of preparation is this? It's chaos. What are they doing?
Well, I was surprised to see it favourite. I'll put it that way.
Well,
I know it's coming.
I'll tell you what. So was a lot of people late because it was very, very soft.
Yeah. How did it parade?
Sweet.
Walked well?
No major knock. The parade.
Yeah, I must say I was surprised to see it that short in what looked a competitive field. I know obviously the Bendigo mile race was like a decent enough run, but it was never really winning or threatening that race.
Well, it had like a month and a half off. It went from 2,400 back to 1,200 at Ascot, where it won. Then it went to 400 metres at Flemington and went really good behind Morvada, remember?
Yep.
we were there. Then they thought, oh, that was a pretty good run. Let's send it to the Australian Cup over 2,000 metres off that 400-metre run. Weird, but whatever. Then they put it back to the mile. Then they stayed at the mile. Like, what's it going to do? What's next start going to be over 400 metres?
Freshen up back over the 12. It did hemorrhage on that day at Ascot when it won.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think they know what they're doing to a certain degree, but in regard to when to bet on it and when not to. If it's not going for a spell, I'd be very, very... I wouldn't touch it next start other than the pink button.
Okay, well, conversely, surely we're following Inverloch again because he races well at Caulfield. All the meetings coming up are at Caulfield. Out to 2,000 metres, you'd think he'll be able to do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was any advantage to be on pace on Saturday.
He's just strong.
The ride was good, really good. I thought the horse of most interest out of the race, though, was Brigham Rocks. It went really, really good.
Yeah, old favourite amongst various mailbag yard watchers, that horse.
Well, it's gone as good to the Punting Form all-average benchmark, first up, on Saturday, as it went all of last preparation.
Yep.
Last prep at SP like $14 in a Group 1.
Yeah.
It almost knocked off Ash Run to run in a Melbourne Cup. Like, it was half backed early. I actually noted it in the early markets and thought, oh fuck, here we go, because it had 3 trials. But it was real soft late in betting. I don't think it was expected to do anything by the people that would know. It improved second up last preparation big time, doubled its figure, and ran a really good third in a good race, like a Group 2 maybe, Group 3. Do all that. But it is up in Sydney. Sometimes I worry that this horses like this went so good they might flatten up next start, or they went so good that the stable will change plans.
Yep.
But we did have Uncle Chris on that really interesting Sydney mailbag show, and he was very much like, I don't change anything. You know what I mean? So that maybe it's just play on. I don't reckon he'll be missed though, or I think it's a he. Will be missed by the market next start. You know, it'll be fucking short.
Okay, very good. Your week ahead, you've got Mornington Tuesday, Bendigo Wednesday, Pakenham, Wangaratta Thursday, Cranny, Swan Hill Friday, back at Caulfield Saturday. Plenty going on. Yeah,
so you'll get Mounting Yard Mail from Mornington. Jack and I are going to Mornington, and there's rumours that the old Dutch sailor Pistol Pete Anthonisz is coming as well. You will not be getting Mounting Yard Mail from me from Bendigo. There is no one, God's green earth, I'm going there. It's too far this time of year with a kid very, very close to dropping. Maybe Jack goes, I don't know. We will price the whole meeting and we will bet, but you won't get Mounting Yard Mail. And then obviously the next one you will get is Caulfield on Saturday, where despite Caulfield being a little bit of a scary joint, Peter, as we know, we're 2 from 2, baby. So looking forward to it on Saturday now. Really, really thoroughly enjoy the members' setup at Caulfield. It's really good value, the package, just to get in, where you can sit, watch big TVs. I would like it if they put the football on, and but there's too many people there, but I would love it if they halve the price of beers. I only have 1 or 2 at the end of the day, but it must be an expensive day if you go there and drink all day. Fuck.
Listen to you half spooking the MRC. Very good. I like it.
No, it's a really fucking enjoyable experience. Their members' experience is the best I've had.
Yeah, I might have called Caulfield headquarters at one stage last year, and you guys scoffed at me. But there it is.
Well, don't get me wrong. I love the GA up there. Remember we used to have that spot up the top?
Yeah. Anyway, Caulfield doing something right. Good that they have a members' experience and a general race-going experience that caters to people who, or at least half caters to people who actually want to go and bet.
Well, in the members in Caulfield, like I could throw a tennis ball to the betting ring, to the bar, to the TVs where I want to watch stuff, to the food, to where you have to go and have a smoke, which I don't smoke anymore. Haven't had one for ages. and throw a tennis ball to the mounting yard. Like,
what more do
at
you want?
Flemington, you got to catch 5 escalators to do either.
It's great for guys like me who are trying to put on more condition and have succeeded in doing so. Curls, Queensland, let's talk. What's happening?
Yeah.
Besides selling Sunset.
First of all, let me get this off my chest. How did Flying Crackerjack get beat at Rockhampton on Saturday? Dead set. So we had one bet at Rocky for the service. We bet Flying Crackerjack. Now, Flying
After
Crackerjack
it lost, did you send through a no more fucking bets at Rockhampton message?
No.
You might have sent it to Ross then, because Ross goes, "That's it for Rocky."
Oh, like, get serious. Like, we were on this for the service. We had a couple of bets in the race. And a couple of weeks ago, one of them was Flying Crackerjack at Eagle Farm at like $21, and it's got beat like a quarter of a length or something. That margin gets shorter and shorter every time I talk about this. So it goes to Rockhampton in a restricted sales race for horses that were sold through the local Rocky sale up there. And I've marked this thing like $1.60. Had 4 units at $2.40 or something. This is like complete gift. And it leads and gets beat by this horse with absolutely zero form, sits outside it and beats it. Like genuine house sort of stuff going on in North Queensland. The horse that beats us, like, it's never won over 1,200, let alone even raced over 1,300. It's first up 175 days, gate 15, just gasses straight across to sit outside us and beats us fair and square on the day. It was just sickening. That was the only sort of downer on the day. Been pretty happy with the way we've sort of handled the Saturdays the last few weeks. I've changed it up a little bit and sort of like put less focus on the shit races, like, you know, Toowoomba and that sort of thing. Like I did the meeting on the weekend, but you know, once again, Toowoomba doing Toowoomba things. $1.65 favourite getting rolled, $1.45 favourite getting rolled. Like, you know, I think I spent like 4 units and got 3 back or something like that. Like just small bets. It's really difficult to sort of bet there with the quality of horses and jockeys, but on a positive side, we saw a couple of good performances Saturday in town at Doomben. I particularly liked the win in race 4 of Fender. Brett Kavanagh's brought this horse up from Scone. He's going to base it here over the Winter Carnival. There was talk of trying to get into a Stradbroke or something like that, which you know, he'll need to make a fair bit of improvement, but he did sit outside the leader, and which was a Meechie, the David Van Dyke horse that was heavily tipped in places. We're on Fender for the service. We sort of bet the drift. It was $2.60 out. I think it got out to $4, which was a great result for us, and it really did kick their brains in. You know, it sort of ran the same figure that it ran first up last preparation, which was at Rose Hill. So I think it's a progressive horse here. It's a low benchmark. Like that was a 78 benchmark race that it won on Saturday. So it'll win again next start if they sort of go to that. If they don't go sort of like jump too high a grade. If they win one more sort of leading into a carnival race, you know, the right race would be winning next start for sure. There's a little bit of chat on Twitter on Saturday just about Amici and the David Van Dyke runners. We had Amici was sort of drifted a little bit in the market there, and Cloak in the mile race was a big drifter as well. They both ran below their best. Amici sort of regressed 2 lengths from its first up win, but it did sort of sit on a bit hotter speed this week, just gone. So I don't really know whether it's much good. Amici, I think it's sort of on its mark. So hopefully it goes around favourite again and we'll be against it yet again. What else come out of that meeting Saturday? Probably a frustrating race there for us would have been, like for the service, would have been race 3 at Doomben. That was the race that we really launched into. We we're on Cloak betting the drift, and we're on Barefoot as well. Sort of map the race though, and Foreign Territory sort of leads Cloak outside at Barefoot from the back would be the only other winning hope. Took $10 Barefoot, wins at 14s. Fuck me.
They run some like decent times, like figures at Doomben.
It's
what's that? We're just because we're warming up towards the winter carnival.
Yeah, look, I don't really. I mean, Barefoot sort of ran up to what it can do. Fenders ran up what it can do. I think we just had a little bit better quality horse, and I think the other thing too, which is pretty evident now, is that trainers are dodging Eagle Farm. There's no doubt about that. Like they were, big full fields at Doomben, better quality horses. The we've got a midweek meeting at Eagle Farm on Wednesday. There's 8 races. There's like 78 acceptances and for 8 races, and not one race has a capacity field. The biggest field's 12, and they're just trainers are just dodging the joint because it's too hard, and a lot of horses aren't performing. So,
is there any media up there around it? Like, will there be anything done about that?
There certainly won't be any media about it, Jack. So we've got former racing writer at the Courier Mail, Nathan Exelby, is now employed by the BRC / Racing Queensland. So it certainly won't be any negative publicity. I think Ben Dorries has taken the role of writing for the Courier Mail. So I think it's been pretty well documented what the trainers have thought. David Van Dyke's come out and said he avoids the place, and a few other trainers have, without saying it, are just not running horses there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. We've got the Wednesday meeting at Eagle Farm this week, which I'll be covering, and then we've also got Eagle Farm on the Saturday, which is going to be super, super interesting because we see like the first of the better sort of prize money races, I suppose. Like we've got a listed race for 3-year-olds over 1,400, and there's 10 noms. There's just sort of small noms for the whole meeting there. Like we've got some good prize money races at Eagle Farm Saturday. 9 races, 122 noms. So I think it's a big issue for them for sure. But I don't mind it from a punting point of view. You just back the horses that handle it,
Yeah, you like credit to you. You basically called this, I reckon, 6 months ago, longer.
Yeah, you just got to adjust, I suppose. Like, sort of want to put less time and energy into whinging about the tracks and more time and energy into finding what's suited, And
it's not your job to it's not our job to push narrative to help the industry. It's like dollar for dollar's gone around and been beaten by a mile in an early race at Caulfield as favourite, and there's in the stewards report they found nothing, and the stable will report if they do find anything. And then on Twitter you see it look like an owner, but I don't know. But it's not my job to know. It's a story that should be chased by a journalist, not a punter. Implying that the horse scoped with blood in its lungs at home, and then Dan Bowman, good man, friend of the show, trainer, said that happens a bit. Like you do a deeper, more thorough scan back at the stables, and you do report that to the stewards, so that the stewards can then report that to the punter.
Yep.
So, but at this stage, there's nothing in the stewards report about dollar for dollar, which shits me. But hopefully that's addressed.
Maybe that's something that I'll chase up on a Monday. Today Monday? Yeah, it is. But the stewards might chase that up,
Yeah, they definitely will now, I think. But they should. Like, the majority of us sort of funders of the industry are doing our database work on a Monday.
Correct.
You're not going to go back through and just check, has any of the words changed in the stewards report a week later?
Yeah, true.
We fund the game, like it should be dealt with pretty promptly. If the information's out there, which it sounds like it is, if it's not out there and the guy's just talking shit, then fair play to everyone, including the guy talking shit.
Oh dear.
I did see you mention it did run it in Everest, didn't it? Dollar for dollar.
No, it didn't, did it?
I don't know. Did it?
It was one of those.
One of them. Anyway.
Sunset Syndications will have one running. If dollar for dollar round, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. Oh, it did run. It ran last. It got beat 8.8. Classic Legend.
Well, so it went closer to Classic Legend than it went to fucking
Missile Mantra.
Missile Mantra. Like,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Yeah.
Show us some respect. Maybe we can get Selling Sunsets into the All-Star Mile. You know, we fucking could.
Nah, I don't think so. I think she's more like a...
Doesn't matter. There's always 4 horses that are just purely there because people voted, like the Harrovian.
I was thinking more Newmarket, but anyway.
Yeah, but you got to be able to vote them in.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, anyway, yeah, that's bloody good, isn't it?
Yep.
I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, that's Queensland, in a nutshell.
Any horses that grabbed you that you want to follow?
Well, we're on the last winner, Wonderful Rara. I liked her effort again. Don't know what level she gets to, but...
Is she from Victoria?
Yeah, she's an ex-Victorian now with Steve O'Day and Matt Hoysted. I think so. Yeah. It's won 2 of 3 in Queensland.
Amazing.
We've been on it both times.
Well, it's a Flying Dutchman.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Fender wins again. Placed right. Yeah, that's about it, really. Yeah. As far as like genuine ones going forward, it's the best. That's it for me, really, from Queensland. Nothing else I can think of there or I can talk about.
Okay, now before we go, Peter, entertain us. Is he frozen? Oh.
He is now that he's back in Victoria. The weather's frozen him.
Exactly.
It literally hailed like so much that it looked like snow yesterday morning. Was there any snow in the city?
No, I was expecting to come back and see ice everywhere, but then I realised that's only in WA. Yep. It's not funny. It's a serious problem. Clean up your act, people. Mind you,
Speaking of cleaning up your act, are you going to go to Warrnambool? Pistol?
It has to, yeah, 100%. You both are, aren't you?
Yeah, it's my son's birthday on the Monday. I forgot. Well, I didn't forget. It just didn't line up. So anyway, I've got some work to do to get out of the house Monday to fly down.
How old are you turning?
10?
Oh! I was going to say take him, but you can't. You'll kill him.
No.
Where's your dad? Dunno.
Yeah. What about that Clairvoyance pistol? Did you see it Saturday?
I did. Still plenty of improvement to come physically for this preparation. I believe they're going to be stepping it out over a little bit further. Out of a mare called Dance on Air, which was a Ellison Zara horse, which ran pretty well at Caulfield. I think it won there 3 or 4 times off the top of my head and went okay at Moonee Valley. I suspect we will see her here at some stage over the next year because she's just recorded a PB. They've gone 6.7 lengths fast to the 600, got headed in the straight, which the trainer, Darren McCall, have said after the race, he was surprised Ladies of London actually got in front of it in the straight and was able to keep going with it. That horse has run enormous as well. But yeah, Clairvoyance has got a heap of upside. It's posting what you'd call Group 1 figures that you'd see in WA. And I know a lot of people have got excited and all that sort of thing. She's still got a few tractability issues, but a heap of upside. Exciting horse.
Was it ridden like the best horse on Saturday, or did it sort of take charge a little bit, did you think, or what?
Yeah, it was hard to get a line on it. I think they went out there with intent to ride it like the best horse, make sure they led. I just don't think they expected that another horse would be sitting that close to it. But yeah, I think that's certainly its big advantage. It's just a massive cruising speed and can really put a lot of these horses just to absolute dust. So yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good effort. to record that, negative 9.9 on punting forms overall, second up on a quick backup when the horse really, again, like I said, probably isn't fully fit yet. So that's a big figure.
That was the other thing I was going to mention.
The numbers line up with the other good horses that they've brought out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have a look at Fabergino, for instance. She's probably about 2 lengths off what Fabergino was recording at an absolute peak in WA. Just having a quick look. Yeah, Fabergino recorded a 12.2 and a 13.3 in WA. So, yeah, about 2 to 3 lengths off that, which is pretty good going for a WA sprinter. You don't see those sort of figures outside of Group 1s typically.
That is one thing the MRC, I think that's what they're called, could improve. The Perth racing gets no respect.
That's across the board. You don't see a race.
Yeah, I know, but it's a way they can stand out. Like just have either put on the big screen or put another bigger screen next to them.
Yeah.
Like footy, WA. Give me Sky 1, Sky 2, Fox Footy. I wouldn't even mind watching the league. Yesterday, me and Darcy watched the Australian Championships of the Frisbee League on KO. It's pretty good.
I was too busy watching the Demons dismantle Geelong.
Yeah, I turned that off. That was boring, I thought. Geelong are hard to watch, aren't they?
They're terrible operators. So I think they're gone.
I did rock back into the CBD just in time to see a few miserable Geelong fans leaving the ground early, and I almost asked them what the score was, but I didn't need to because they were despondent. They had their tail between their legs, both proverbially and physically, and couldn't have happened to a more boring team.
What did you? Are you pretty excited now, Dave Curley?
Oh no, not quite just yet. We need to knock someone off. Like Geelong are going terrible, right? They had.
I couldn't believe that they were favourites, and then when I watched the first quarter, and I was like, that's why.
Dangerfield and Parfit were sort of missing from their midfield, and they've got no leg speed in their midfield anyway. And there's a couple of guys that can go a bit that were gone, and obviously they've got Cameron to come back in as well. But I think they've got some hope. And plus plus their home games at that downhill skiing establishment down there at Cardinia Park will help them get into the 8 as well. They'll fall into the 8.
They should be playing Jenkins.
Can't see how he doesn't get a game there. Anyway.
Swans 4-0 too.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, a little test at home.
Yeah.
And then the $1 million man just straightened up and just kicked a big snag when it counted.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
That's what cash looks like. That's what well-spent cash does.
Yeah.
He buoys the boys. He brings them up to his level. And then when he goes, you've done a heap tonight, lads. Let me finish it off for you,
Tell you what, we're very fortunate to have AFL media because it's the only media set worse than the racing media. God, it's a punish. There's too many AFL journalists and not enough AFL games.
There's more journos than there are players, isn't there?
Oh, geez, they run out of shit to talk about.
Talking about getting a team in Tassie, you'd have to field it with half journalists.
They do criticise a bit, don't they?
Oh, you're allowed to criticise everything except for racing.
That's what I mean. I like that about it.
Just whether or not you've got hindsight bias if you're actually ahead of the curve. Not mentioning any names. We might speak about that on the Barefoot Punter. We'll throw it out to Logical and Mug and they can have a crack.
Was Jay Carr unavailable to come on this morning?
Oh, how repulsive. In my opinion, it's basically sexist to obsess about her so much. Like, she is an elite rider. It clearly making her uncomfortable and putting extra pressure on her just because she's a woman.
Just a jockey, mate.
Forcing people to be role models. It's great.
Yeah.
Great for human existence, isn't it? Because what does that?
Not a role model.
What does it say about everyone else if you're forcing people to be role models? Like, just everyone else is just completely legless and cast. You can't look up to people in your normal life.
Yeah, if I'm Jay Carr, right, I'm going to make $4 to $5 million this year from riding horses. Okay. How much am I going to make from being a role model and doing media? Fuck all, and I'm not good at it. Or no, I'm not good. She's one of the greatest riders there is. She's not like she hasn't trained to do TV and be a role model. Like, It's be very, very hard to be a role model when you're under that much pressure. No one, they're all human. It's just stupid setup for her. I feel sorry for her.
There's room for her to do that if she wants to later on. Like Caitlin Mallion was nowhere near as good a jock as Jay Carr, but she transitioned from jockey to a media personality. It's hard to be both at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And she's 24.
Yeah, but she only does like doesn't she only do like that Crown Bet show?
Mm-hmm. She's on Channel 7 and she's with J-Mac, so it's a filler.
Oh, I don't know.
Either way you look at it. As Tupac said, mate, he refuses to be a role model. He sets goals, takes control, and drinks out of his own bottle. So, just while you're at the top of your game, you just keep playing your game. You don't have to be anything to anyone. Let it go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's let her ride horses.
I'm glad to see you. It's just, and the bullshit that I think it's good for the media guys to have their little East Coast, West Coast rap battles, like Matty Stewart versus Richie Callender and things like that going on. They're trying to keep themselves relevant, just, writing, article after
inserting themselves into the Jake Card narrative. Like, it's, yeah.
Yeah, they've got to stay relevant.
Like, poor Johnny Allen, his story is just as impressive to me. He won another Group 1 on Saturday. Like, there was a lot of narrative when we got caught doing what he was doing that would be the end of John Allen. John Allen has delivered and delivered and delivered and won a Group 1 in Sydney on Saturday. It's a huge achievement.
Not bad, that, actually. Like, I think Moody brought that horse for the owners and for Kieran Maher to train. They go to Tassie, win a dirty Tassie derby, and then go to Sydney and knock them off. Like, it's huge effort.
Thank God it did knock off Young Werther, because I would have... like, holy shit. Like, is it safe to say that I should have won all that money?
Yeah.
Yeah, it costs me more and more, because every time it goes around, I have to have more and more on it just in case for my mental health. So, like, I lost a bit of money on it on Saturday, and I felt pretty okay about that compared to, like, every other bet I had on Saturday that lost.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the boys reviewing the Sydney show, doing the Sydney show, actually, because like there's so much bullshit outside of what goes on the track, but what went on the track on Saturday was pure. It was brilliant stuff on the track. There's too much shit off the track where people are trying to be relevant in racing, because there's so many talentless people that make money off the racing industry.
Yeah.
And like all the talents on the track, and Saturday was brilliant, like Nature Strip and that sort of shit. I can't wait to hear what the
wasn't that a great ride on Nature Strip?
Freak,
like
freak.
I thought Willow's ride on that horse I can't say, Cocoho, Quay was brilliant.
Yeah,
like fuck, he was good there. And now Keen's Craig. Then he goes to fucking Ballarat to stick one up my snuffer on race 4.
Sickening.
Like, how greedy. I feel guilty if I don't pick up my kid from daycare by like 4:30 when he goes. Just flown to Sydney and won a couple of million. No, not a couple of million, but a lot.
Yeah, and then he sneaks
back.
Mate,
we can't play golf today. I've got to go and ride a couple at Ballarat.
Yeah.
Like, are you sweet?
He's just committed to the cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Numero uno.
He is indeed.
Cash is king.
Anyway, I was good. So, yeah.
All right. We'll all catch up on Thursday and preview whatever's happening this Saturday. Caulfield, Eagle Farm, Ascot once more.
I might preview Toowoomba on the Friday night as well.
Ooh.
Something there. Tune in.
I reckon we should get a guest on Thursday. Yeah, good chat. Okay. All right.
Full stop.
The end.